this is the start of a multiple day weather event. So we're not through this yet.
Thank you again to our firefighters who continue to do amazing work. We know that folks who are battling the Thomas Fire with over 31,000 acres burned, 27,000 people who've been forced to evacuate, and we do have a strike team from LAFD on site there. It's a very difficult moment, but we will get through this. We proved this just over a month ago. We are a resilient city, we are a strong city, we are a capable city.
I'm going to re-emphasize right now, we are facing critical fire behavior in ways that people may not have experienced in the past. This is the 5th year of an ongoing drought. I know that we had some rain this year, but just enough grass crop to have flashy fuels. We have erratic wind behavior. From our department alone right now, on this incident of the Creek Fire, we have over 60 fire engines, over 400 personnel, helicopters flying to assist.
As you wake up in the west, a wildfire is exploding across Southern California. The flames, look at these flames, are racing into the city of Ventura, home to more than 100,000 people.
At least 150 structures have already burned. Thousands of homes are under mandatory evacuation orders. People rushed to escape overnight. The flames destroyed a transmission line, causing power outages to more than 260,000 customers. Containment is at 0%.
More than 30,000 acres are burning northwest of Los Angeles. Santa Ana winds are pushing the flames. Jamie Yukas is in Ventura with more. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning. Over my shoulder, where you see those flames burning right now, that's where a 200-unit apartment building once stood. It is now gone. Firefighters are trying to save whatever structure they can in this fast-moving fire, but right now, the flames are at 0% containment.
Getting out of here right now, guys.
Thousands of Californians have left their homes overnight as flames raced into their backyard.
I'm not going to wait around for somebody to have to come rescue me, so I'm out of here.
Others weren't as eager to leave.
Sheriff's Department.
It's our home, you know, we'll see it go. You can't panic, you just kind of go with the flow. It's just the wind, you just don't know where it's going to go.
Winds moving at more than 50 miles per hour are driving the flames west, making conditions more difficult for first responders.
With winds like this, fire growth is just absolutely exponential.
Ventura County Fire Chief Mark Lorenzen says more than 500 firefighters are on the ground, desperately working to gain the upper hand.
As far as getting ahead of the fire, that's exactly what we're doing right now, but it's in defense of structures and property right now, not actually trying to put the fire out.
You can see those flames out there. Power just went off.
Flames torched a key transmission line, knocking out power for more than 260,000 customers.
The only thing we're seeing right there are streets. All the homes in this area, power is out.
Ventura County Sheriff Jeff Dean.
There's a main power line source that runs along this ridge, and that's what the fire's burning down. Areas that aren't really necessarily affected directly by the fire are being affected by sporadic power outages as the fire burns down the power lines.
1,000 firefighters battled the flames from the ground overnight, but we just were able to see the first helicopter dump water. That's because conditions until now were too dangerous for those helicopters to go up. Firefighters are concerned that wind conditions could pick up and make things dangerous today.
Jamie, thank you.
But first, we start with that fast-moving wildfire, which is tearing through Ventura County in Southern California right now. Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 5th. I'm Kenny Choi.
And I'm Ann Makovic in for Michelle. About 27,000 people have been forced to evacuate so far. And reporter Jamie Yukas live in Ventura County with a look at the conditions on the ground. Jamie.
31,000 acres have burned, Ann and Kenny, and I can tell you that fire officials tell me that 150 structures, residential structures, have burned. Now, the reason they're using that term and not saying homes is because you can see where that fire line is behind me up on the ridge right there. That used to be, along that hillside, there used to be a 200-unit apartment building. So they really don't know at this point in time just the amount of devastation that has occurred, but 31,000 acres have burned. As you said, 27,000 people have evacuated to 2 different areas here in Ventura. We know that a local hospital burned to the ground as well. It's been a very changing situation with the winds here. You can go to one neighborhood and embers can quickly spark. We've seen a number of homes, some in the multi-million-dollar range, burned to the ground, just depending on the neighborhood. Now, in this specific spot where we are right now, where you can see where that 200-unit apartment building burned to the ground, there is a neighborhood surrounding it down here. They are very thankful that the fire has not come down the hillside. We talked to one business owner, Chris Long, who said that this has just been nothing he's ever seen before.
It was really super windy, and it would kind of die down, and then we would go inside, and then I'd come out and check, and I'd find new fires here and there, and it's kind of scary. I mean, this is a really nice hillside, and catch really killer sunsets off it and all that, and it's just going to be a charred, nasty mess now.
And that's the situation. Firefighters have not been able to get any helicopters up because it was dark and those Santa Ana winds were up to 50 miles per hour. It was just too dangerous to put them up. So we don't know the extent of the damage right now from these burning fires, but we do know that they're going to be putting 4 helicopters up shortly as soon as daybreak happens and taking a look at how much damage has been done here in Ventura. Kenny and Ann.
Jamie, no doubt that there are windy conditions down there. Talk about what authorities are saying about the possibility of containment of this fire because of those conditions out there right now.
Well, I got to be honest, that's the scary part of this situation is usually you see California wildfires able to get contained very, very quickly. Firefighters get a handle on them. We see the water drops happening. This situation, because of these winds, it is spreading and moving so fast that this fire is currently at 0% containment, 0%. So there are still fires that are popping up and burning in other areas. The winds have died down, and fire officials tell me that that's good news for them this morning as they go ahead and try to get those helicopters up in the air. They have 1,000 firefighters on the ground who have been working throughout the night, so they're going to have to reassess the situation once daybreak happens. But again, 0% containment on that 31,000 acre fire.
Jamie, this is hauntingly familiar to all of us, of course, up here in Northern California after the wine country wildfires. A lot of similarities there, the fire breaking out and exploding in the middle of the night where you had a lot of people sleeping and these frantic evacuations. Of course, that led to a lot of injuries and deaths up here. Any word on how these evacuations went, if they were efficient enough, or if we're going to see a lot of horrible numbers emerging when it comes to that?
Well, you know, of course, as you guys can imagine, because you did go through this situation, we just don't know at this point in time. But what I can tell you is that fire officials told me that they were very happy with when they went to neighborhoods and said this is a mandatory evacuation, that people heeded the warning. They wanted me to let people know that people did get out very, very quickly, and they didn't have much argument back about staying within their homes. We did see, as we were driving around the neighborhoods too, even if it wasn't a mandatory evacuation zone, you could see people outside in their pajamas watching and seeing if that fire was going to move, because at one point in time overnight, those winds again at 50 miles per hour, this thing could shift in any direction at any point in time. So I think people really took the precautions, and firefighters seem pretty happy at this point in time. We do know that one person did die, but it sounds like it was in a traffic accident as they were trying to evacuate their neighborhood. So we'll have to assess that portion of it as well as soon as the sun comes up.
Yeah, a horrific situation out there down in Ventura County. Jamie Yukas reporting for us live. Jamie, thank you so much for the insight.
Devastating wildfire that is spreading across California. This is a live look at it right now. Take a look here. It is just tearing through Ventura County. It exploded from 50 acres to more than 31,000, and it did that in just hours.
That is fast moving, and overnight this fast moving fire has forced thousands of people to face mandatory evacuations. More than 100 buildings are completely destroyed. We're going to go to ABC's Marcus Moore. He's on the ground in Ventura this morning with more. Good morning, Marcus.
Michael, it is a terrible scene here. You see the smoke billowing into the air in Ventura, and look at this. This is an apartment building that is destroyed. It burned overnight, and right now fire crews are still putting water on it to try to knock down any hot spots as the fight to stop the Thomas fire from spreading is just getting underway.
This morning, flames light up the sky in Southern California's Ventura County.
A massive wildfire roaring through these foothills, overnight recording wind gusts up to 68 miles per hour.
This is the biggest problem, the wind shifts.
Blasting fiery embers down the street, electrical lines going up in flames, and this home decimated. All as firefighters try to stop the spread.
Literally like 15 feet away from us right now.
This group panicked as the flames start closing in.
We need to get out of here as soon as possible. That fire is right there.
Mandatory evacuation orders in effect as thousands race to escape the flames.
The entire hillside all throughout Ventura is on fire. All the streetlights are out. There's ashes everywhere. People were driving really fast. No one really knew what to do.
My son is a firefighter, and I'm not going to wait around for somebody to have to come rescue me, so I'm out of here.
These flames overnight continuing to spread to homes here in Ventura County. It is a heartbreaking thing to see. You've lived here 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
So this is home.
This is home. But I don't know how much longer.
And to have to leave your home.
This is too frightening for me.
This fire captain stunned by the fire's speed.
Rapid movement. This fire's moved as fast as any fire I've ever seen.
Sheriff's office, anybody home?
Police going door to door, emotions high in this neighborhood as homeowners scramble to gather whatever they can before leaving.
I was in disbelief and shock. That's all. That's all. You never expected something to come over the hills as it did.
Shelters filling up, massive power outages, all the way north to Santa Barbara, nearly 200,000 people in the dark. The sun rising here this morning is revealing the scale of the devastation here. All of these fire crews continue to work as they put the water here to knock down those hot spots over concerns that perhaps the fire could flare back up again. And I want to show you what it looks like on this street here. You see that vehicle that's burned out off in the distance there? That is an evidence of the wind picking up the embers and landing on vehicles like that and setting them on fire. And it was just an incredible scene overnight watching this fire as it moved through this part of Ventura. And you see in the distance there, those palm trees still standing as that black smoke lifts into the air. It gives you just a sense of how much devastation there is, even on the hilltops there. There are so many homes that this morning are gone, all because of this fire that continues to burn out of control in some parts of Ventura. And this could be a critical turning point for fire crews as they try to knock down this fire, because they may be, for the very first time, they may be able to use helicopters to fight it from the air. They weren't able to do that overnight because of the darkness. And also, Ginger, the Santa Ana winds that you've been telling us about that have been fanning the flames here in Southern California.
That's exactly right. Thank you.